right. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Episode 3, Ebonic Economics.
With Shay
and Red. This is Money Talk in our language, and we are here with another week of information, knowledge, game, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever.
But we're here for you.
Exactly.
So, this episode is called Credit Rules Everything Around You. Cream get to... Damn, I messed up. Okay, it was credit rules everything around me. Cream get your score up and save your dollar bills, y'all.
Boom. Okay.
Let me say that again. Credit rules everything around me. Cream get your score up and save your dollar bills, y'all. So this episode, we're just going to talk a little bit about credit. What you could do a little bit to help build your score. Why it's important. And you know, understanding your FICO score, the calculations and all of that. We'll get into that. But how many people out there know what their credit score is?
Exactly.
I know mine.
And how important it is to know your credit score and how to utilize your credit score.
If you don't know where you stand, you don't know where you can go. That's important.
Trust.
You must know what your credit score is so you know where you're starting, and then you know where you need to be. The 700 Club, as everybody always talks about, the 700 FICO score is good, but you can get up to 850.
Absolutely.
So, you know, but it's based on what you do. We're going to give you some insight on how to achieve a few goals and some things that you can do for yourself. So that, you know, because with the money and the credit together, now you are double bad. Double bad.
Bad.
So, yeah, so there's a lot of free places out there where you can get your credit score these days. What's the...
You got Credit Karma.
Credit Karma.
Experience.
Yeah, you can get your free annual credit report, free credit report. You can look that up online. There's 3, she's naming off the 3 credit reporting agencies, which are Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. These people, these institutions make all the decisions for you on how your money, how you get money, whether you get money, what rates you get it at.
Whether or not you're credit worthy.
Right. And what they use is your FICO score, FICO. Which stands for Fair Isaac Corporation. And we're like, who the fuck is Isaac? And how do we know he's fair? We don't know who Isaac is.
And we don't know he's fair.
We don't know he's fair, but they have chose his motherfucking formula to base their lending principles on. And to base your worthiness on. So credit is one of the most, it is one of the most important things that you can have, along with savings. Because while you're saving, you also want to be building your credit. If your credit score is low right now, it's not the end of the world. What goes down must come up. Ooh. So if you follow a few tips, and we have people who know how to help you repair your credit. We'll have partners and people we can refer you to that are legitimate, upscale, upstanding business people, registered with the Better Business Bureau, all of that, so that you're not out there wondering if you're spending your money, because it's going to cost you if your credit is fucked up. It's costing you anyway if your credit is fucked up, because your interest rate is 10 to 15 points higher than the person whose credit score is not fucked up.
Exactly. So you want to know the basics of starting with good credit. Well, one of the things is, if you're going to have a credit card, pay your bill on time. That's the minimum you can do.
Yeah.
Pay your bill on time. At least pay your minimum balance. Of course, we'll get into paying off those credit cards and making it sooner and faster. But at the minimum, pay your minimum balance, because you'll be considered paid and never late. It will be reported as this person pays on time and they're never late.
Exactly. You'll build payment history.
Exactly.
Payment history is one of the things that they use to calculate your FICO score. Is this person responsible enough to pay me back each month by the day that we have set?
And agreed.
Will this nigga give me my money when it's due? Exactly. Yes, Isaac is both of them, right? So, but also if you get a credit card, the key is don't go out there and max it out. That's number one. If you get a credit card with $1,000 credit limit, don't run out there and spend $900 and then pay the minimum back on that. That doesn't make sense, because one of the things that they use to calculate your FICO score is your revolving credit available. They want to know
debt to income ratio.
Yeah, they want to know how much credit you're having that you're not using. Your score falls in tiers. If you're using 80% of your credit limits, then if you're using 80% of your credit limit, guess what? Your score is going to be low. If you're only, and each time you go from one tier to the other, as far as credit usage, your score drops.
Now, trick to that.
Utilization.
Yes, bro. Now, the trick to that. Now, it's two things I want to hit because this kind of happened to me. Now, say for instance, you do have a credit card that's $1,000 and you max that out. But if you get another credit card and it's $3,500, that brings it back down. That's a balance.
Right.
Now, if you take that credit card and you cancel it, say for instance you had a lot of credit cards and you're like, okay, I paid these off, I'm gonna just cancel them. No, credit can go down.
Right.
Because your debt to income. Because that happened to me. I was like,
that
you know
revolving
what? I'm
available.
done.
Right. It's that revolving available. You canceled a credit line, a revolving credit line.
So that made
you no longer have this amount available. Now your revolving available has dropped because those balances and those amounts have dropped. Look, my back itch. I'm gonna scratch it. But yeah, that's some of the things, and we'll teach that more in depth when we have the credit class because
what
will.
What is it, Red? I'm not sure because I'm gonna ask her. You don't want to spend no more than, what is it, 30%?
10%. If you can keep it to 10%, your score will. If you keep your credit usage to 10% and your payments on time, your score will be. You will supersede the 700, 800 clubs. But if you have a high utilization, it's going to be hard for you to reach that.
Now, the mortgage companies, I know they give you up to 40.
Right.
40%. They'll give you 40, 50. But you start tapping that 50%, it'll become difficult. They'll want you to start paying things down.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's and it varies. Lenders, different lenders, have different criteria. But the
interest rate though,
yeah,
if you hit that 40, all that makes a difference.
Exactly.
Now the 10 versus 10% versus 20%.
If you go to get a home loan with a FICO score of 700, we could do the 500. Well, let's do 580, 680, 780. How about that?
Yeah.
If you go to get a home with 580, you can get that home.
You definitely.
But the rate that you will be paying back will be at least probably 4 to 5 points, which is a lot when you talk about a home loan.
Yes.
$500,000 annually, so that's going to be a lot. If you have the 680, let's say so 580, your rate might be 12.99 on a home loan, and your down payment will be a lot. And usually it's 10%, but with that kind of debt, you're going to be required to put about 20 to 25% down. 20% is a lot. So then if you got the 680, they may require you to put 15% down, and you'll get the rate of 9 or 8.99. But you go in there with the FICO of 780. Guess what? It's 5% down, maybe 3, and then your down payment is 5 to 3. What did I say? 5 to 3% down, and then you're out of here. Your rate will probably be like 2.99 or whatever the Fed has said. You'll get the actual rate with no over points.
It will in the state of California, that's similar to that. In the state of California, 656 will get you a 3% down.
Mm-hmm.
That'll get you a 3% down in the state of California, 656.
Speaking hypothetical.
Yeah.
But she got the points. She got the facts.
Yeah. Like you can't
because
do that.
We're in her home that she owns, that she had her FICO at to get her shit, so she know.
It was 650.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's attainable. That's not impossible. But you got to know where you stand to begin with in order to know where you need to go.
You got to know where you stand. So to know that and just hitting that 5 something though, you pushing it. You pushing it. Right. You're gonna be shopping a serious loan. So if you can stay anywhere, like she said, 680. Oh yeah. That's wonderful. And 780. Now, what I was getting ready to say that is 3% down. That 780, baby, you could walk out. You could walk out with no money down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I was getting ready to say.
No money
Yeah,
down.
you could walk in with a no money down.
You see the car commercials they have with approved credit, with approved credit, 0.0% for 12, you 5, whatever the whole shit is, 0% for the whole loan if your credit is right. If your credit ain't right, you at drive time and you're paying 19 to 24% interest on your car.
You paying the Bentley price. You paying
for
$450 a month.
For paying the price of a Bentley for
a Toyota.
No, what's the car?
Prius.
Fucking no, it's a Chevy. Chevy.
Focus. Oh no, that's a Ford.
What the fuck is that shit? Not the Impala, but the one up under that. You know what I'm talking about? Well, y'all know what it ain't even the Impala, nigga. Y'all paying $450, $500 a month for
and you're not getting
a third-rate car.
You're not getting it.
So let's say a Nissan Sentra. It's gonna come to me, the Chevy, later on. But
she said, "I'm gonna just pop
I'm
it out
hot
there."
right now.
It is.
We might have to pause for the cause.
It's the wine too.
But I do want to tap into, because we use this term already, and I know y'all like, what? Debt to income ratio.
Yes.
Debt to income ratio. And that's exactly what it is. Your debt versus your income. Any payment that you pay, as far as credit, if you have credit cards, it's recorded on your credit report. And they already have an amount of what you pay monthly to all of your creditors. So that's your outgoing, but that's your debt. That's what they would list your debt as.
Yes.
Your income is what you bring home. And it's going to be gross is before taxes and net is after. A lot of places use your gross income because they know they need to give you a leg up. Because jobs ain't paying shit unless you have been blessed to be put in a position where you're making 6 figures. But if you're regular Joe, middle class American, you need 2 jobs to make it. They said to live in California, you need to make $24 an hour to pay the average price of rent. So these jobs out here, you gotta earn $24 an hour.
Yeah.
You ain't really getting that nowhere. Not full time, not entry level. So you got to be up on your shit. So anyway, back to the debt to income ratio. So your debt, how much you're paying out versus how much you're bringing in, and then they look at how much you have left over after you've paid that. They assume that 10% of your annual gross income is what you spend on your expenses. So if you make $45,000, they assume that you spend $4,500 on your expenses. You got your rent. And then you got whatever's on your credit report. And if that doesn't leave you enough to get by sustainably, then your debt to income is going to be too high and you're not going to be approved for the credit card. And even with a debt, you can have a great credit score.
I was just about to say that.
You can have a 740 credit score. But if your debt to income ratio
is off,
you will not get it. You be like, well, my credit score is almost 800. Yeah, but you pay too much and you don't make enough.
Yeah.
And this is what we're looking at in black and white.
Exactly.
So, do you have another income?
Or your credit score can drop, and you'll
Yeah.
wonder, like, I pay everything on time, I miss nobody, everybody get their money, but you too tight. Is what they're called. You just running too close. You're just running too close. In other words, they feel if anything happens, you have no reserve.
Exactly.
So if anything happens, somebody's not gonna get their money. And guess what? They don't want to be that somebody.
You know what they saying? You don't have no money to save. And if you don't have no money to save, then you can't be there for them on a rainy day if something happens.
Exactly.
So they're going to turn you down. So this is just things.
In the 3 C's. What are the 3 C's? The credit is credit.
She fits to tell me something.
Yeah. It's how they determine your mortgage. It's your credit,
your cash flow,
and it's one other.
But it starts with a C.
Yeah, it's called the 3 C's.
Credit, cash flow.
Hold on, y'all, cause I keep it.
Okay, she got notes.
Let me look that up.
So while she look for the credit, cash flow, and something.
Yeah, cause that's what's necessary in order to purchase your home along with the credit. Yeah.
Credit, cash flow, and what? I'm looking.
Yeah, 3 C's of credit.
So anyway.
The 3 C's of credit.
Let's see.
capacity, collateral, and character. So your character falls under your credit.
Right. Listen.
The capacity is, can you pay the loan? That's your income. And what do you have?
What you got already.
Yeah, there you go.
But listen, with certain jobs you can't get if your credit ain't right.
Yeah.
They use your credit to base your level of responsibility. It's not even about just getting a credit card or buying something anymore with your credit. They use your credit to judge you.
Exactly.
When you're going for certain jobs, they're going to use your credit report to judge you. We don't know them. We don't know you. How can we get to know you real quick? I know. Let's pull up his credit report.
Especially if you about to handle my money.
Oh God, you want to work in the bank?
I need to make sure that you are not.
Yeah.
And they do that to make sure that you're not desperate.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? That this person is desperate. This person
even to advance in the military, they pull your credit report because they need to know, are you in debt? Because if you're in debt, perhaps that's something that an enemy can hold over you or try to pay you off behind. Exactly. So credit is important. Credit rules everything around me. Cream, get your SCO up and save your dollar bills, y'all. Yes. What? So, anyway, I don't know how long we've been on this, But
yeah, definitely have to do that. And then so the beginning to doing that, like we said, to build your credit is to start off those minimum monthly, at least that.
Payments, right.
Okay, the second thing in order to build your credit is to just pay it off. Use it and pay it. Because if you don't get a credit card, let's be clear, let's do the other part of that, the flip side of the credit card. If you have no credit cards, there's some people out there who have no credit.
Yep.
And that's good. They feel like, I've done a great thing. I've lived my entire life without this credit. Now I want to buy a home. No credit.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I've never had a credit card. Well, guess what you're considered to have? Bad credit.
No credit is bad credit. No credit is bad credit. Ooh.
Yeah.
I am hot. So anyway.
She been drinking that good stuff. Let's see, I got some different one.
And we got a bright ass light in here. It's like the sun. But, and these are my notes, so I'm pull them closer. But anyway, let me see what I had next. Oh, okay. With credit, as far as your children, there's a lot of things that you can do, and there's a lot of things that family members can do for you. If you need to establish credit history and you don't have it, if you have a family member or auntie with good credit who's willing to just put you on her account as an authorized user, you don't have to spend the money, but you can reap the benefits of her good credit behavior.
Exactly.
This can help boost your score. It can also establish a timeline for the amount of time you've had existing credit. Because when you go to buy that home, they're going to say, how long is your credit history? If you're new to this, it's going to be much harder for you to get established, especially for multiple hundreds of $1,000s.
Yeah.
So, student loans, if they're on your credit, work on getting those, maybe deferred so that they don't impact your credit right now, but you don't even know what's on your credit. If your mama had the electric bill in your name, go on and dispute that.
Exactly. Now, don't.
Yeah.
Don't. Now, if it's been too long,
right,
don't you touch that.
Right, yeah.
Because it will bring it back up to current.
Right.
That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to touch things that are already, if something is 3-4 years old, leave it alone.
Everything falls off in 7 years.
Yeah, so if it's 3 or 4 years old,
tidbit.
Leave it alone. Because if you communicate with them, the day you communicate with them, conversation with them, that starts over.
Wow.
That 7 years will start the fuck over. So
Yeah.
block the call. Don't take. Now, if it's within a year or two and you still have a lot of time, you trying to do something, go ahead and knock that off.
Yeah.
But if it's been 4 or 5 years, walk away.
Might as well wait too long.
Just walk away. Yeah. Don't touch it. Don't communicate with them. Don't call and try to negotiate shit with them.
Yeah. But once it's over 7 years, you go ahead and dispute it, and the credit
if it doesn't fall off, go ahead and dispute it.
Yeah.
Now, another tip with credit, if you have bad credit, once it's sold, if it's still with Bank of America, say you owe Bank of America, it's still with Bank of America, fuck, just let it go. But once Bank of America sells it to XYZ credit place, and then you owe $1,000, you can offer them $200. They'll take it.
And settle it. Right.
And they'll settle it.
Exactly.
Because they bought an entire list of people for
They bought a whole portfolio for pennies on the dollar. Debt buying, that's something that I used to be involved in, doing collections or whatever. I do collections and lending. I'm from the beginning to the end. I lend you the money and then I sue your ass to get it if you don't fucking pay me. I'm the whole, it's all about the money. I took the game to work. You feel me? I'm still chasing that paper. But
at the bank.
Exactly. Hello. Anyway, the bank of the hood. But yeah. So anyway, that credit, that it's just important. You know, don't fool with it. Don't mess it up. Help your kids get a leg up. Parents, if you got an account that you're not using, you got to make a payment history on that you don't use a lot, go ahead and list your kids as an authorized user.
Absolutely.
Go ahead and let them start enjoying the benefits of having a credit history, so that when they turn 18, they're already established and they can go do what they need to do without needing a cosigner, because they have credit
paying
history.
your bills. Don't you take them kids down with you.
Listen, yeah. If you file a bankruptcy, don't put the kids. No.
See, and that's what we do as people. We tend to take our kids' names, like she said, electric bills, stuff like that. Let's change that. Yeah. We want us as a people to change that. Yeah. Let's start taking our kids' names and putting them on things that we know we're gonna do good.
Prosperous.
Yeah, prosperous
businesses. And,
you see what I'm saying?
You know,
can you imagine if you put your 10-year-old on your credit report about in 8 years?
Right. He could go buy a house.
He in the 700.
Yeah, exactly. And there's I got some other ways to help kids get credit lines as well. There's some companies out there that are just free trade lines that give you the money and make an automatic payment for you. But we'll go over those when we get deeper. If you want to take our credit class and on how to, boost your score and some things to do to get you in that game, I can get you at least a guarantee 50 to 75 points, 100. I have to look at your score, your shit for the rest. I can transfer you or recommend you to somebody who can really get you right, like they got me right. But, but for doing it for yourself, I definitely got some advice on how you can get your leg in there and get your score right and make your money start working for you. You don't want to pay, if you don't have to pay 24% interest, why would you want to?
Yeah, don't.
If you can knock that down to 7.99, wouldn't you want to do that? Do you even understand interest? Yeah. If you don't, it's no problem. That's something that we need to discuss, and we will discuss it, because that's how people make money off of you. They lend you money, but you got $1,000. If you have $1,000 credit card and your interest rate is 12.99, you're paying $120, $130 on that $1,000.
Wow.
So
and that's every month.
Yeah, exactly. Based on your balance. Yeah, based on your balance. Based on your balance. Yeah, that's monthly, not annually. So you max that card out and you at 12.99. You're gonna have
not to mention the fees, the credit card fees on top of that. Some of these credit cards, annual fees.
Yeah, annual fees. The annual fees are astronomical. Some places charge you $99 to have a card,
just to have
but you would only have that card because your credit is fucked up.
Yeah.
Because a regular card don't charge you that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Discover has no annual fee.
Absolutely.
I don't pay them a dime. And they've nicely.
I have no annual fees on none of my cards.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but like she said, I did. When my credit was messed up, I did.
On the way up.
I did.
You are going to have to use these people to establish credit. There's secured cards. That's stuff that some banks offer. Yeah. But if you don't know where you stand, you don't know where you need to go. Credit
definitely need
rules
to know
everything.
You definitely need to know your score. Oh, this is another thing that I want to touch on as far as credit. Your credit score is running your credit.
Oh my goodness.
That affects your credit score. Inquiries. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a twist.
Isaac is all in your business.
Yeah, all in. Let me tell you something though. A twist to doing that when you're out looking for something or even trying to shop for credit cards. Don't do Monday, do an application, Tuesday application, Wednesday, don't do that. If you're going to do an application or shop for a car, do it all in one day. Why? Because they don't get a chance to see that the other people ran it.
That too.
They don't see it. That don't hit your report till later on. So if you're going to do it, do it. Do it. If you're going to run some credit, if you're looking to run your credit to get a credit card, do it in the same day.
Yeah.
Do them all in the same day. Because if you do one Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, by Friday, somebody going to see the other one.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you've been shopping, huh?
But if you do it all at one time, nobody sees nobody. So they're making a decision based on no inquiries.
Plus, each hard inquiry bumps your score down 2 points.
Because there is a hard inquiries and soft inquiries. Because people do tap into your credit that you don't know about. And that's why they start soliciting you over the phone for certain things.
That's why you get pre-approved offers.
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother episode. But I don't know how long we've been here.
You know,
the bottom line though, credit rules everything around me. Cream, get your score up. Save your dollar bills, y'all.
We talking mortgage.
Okay.
Wait a minute. We talking mortgage. Renting. Just to rent a place. We going too fast. We telling them to buy a place.
They're gonna run that to rent.
Rent. You have to have almost excess good. You gotta almost have the best credit. You might as well just buy.
You gotta have better credit than the motherfucker trying to buy a house.
For real.
Just because you renting and you don't own it.
For real.
Right?
Because they want to make sure because you guess what? You have their
property in your damn hand.
Yeah, you have
they want to judge you.
I was trying to think. Collateral. You have their collateral.
Yeah. And they gonna judge you.
And
they're saying, hey, she wants to rent my house. Let me see what kind of person she is. Exactly. Oh my gosh, she doesn't pay her bills. She can't live here. Absolutely. On to the next. It's the same with apartments. When you try to go get somewhere, you ain't in there. That's why it's a lot of homeless people too, because their credit, they can't even get. They might work and they may make some money and they gotta stay in hotels and shit because they can't get approved for a place to really live and lay their head and pay a monthly rent because their credit is bad.
Exactly. So, credit rules everything around me.
Cream, get your score up and save your dollar bills, y'all. I done made a song out of that shit, but it's true.
Because credit is cash and cash is credit. Please understand that.
Credit is everything.
Credit is cash and cash is credit. Because you can be rich in credit and rich in cash. You and that same nigga could be doing the same thing and he ain't got a dime in the bank.
Right.
Fact.
But he's swiping that card, nigga, and paying Amex.
Because there's some people that got no balance. I mean, no limit. Yeah. They have no limit.
Black card.
They got a card with no limit. They can do whatever you do.
I'm a no limit soldier. Make it say, Shout out to Master P. Person.
You know what? And when y'all young people go on that goddamn campus and they throwing you them credit cards, we want you to say,
Yeah, you already in debt for the education. You want to be in debt for the credit cards too? That's the game. They giving you credit based on a job you might get. You know what I mean? And I used to have to call people and collect that money that they got in high school. And what I would tell them, when you're going to go be a doctor, when you're going to go do all that and take those exams, guess what? They're going to run your credit. And if you have racked up your credit cards, guess what? You may not get what you done went to school to get all that time. You have no idea how many sectors of the world are using your credit to judge you and base how they're going to treat you, what they're going to give you, where you gonna live, what you gonna drive. Most of y'all motherfuckers couldn't even get an iPhone from Sprint because your shit was fucked up. Your phone is in somebody else now. You come because of your credit. So if you don't think it's important, keep not thinking it's not important and running around here and paying extra all your life. Because you don't understand that credit rules everything around you.
That part. Now, we've given you guys a lot of information. We put it all in your head, but what we want you to do for your homework. You got something else in your notes? Because hold on.
I'm just checking. No, go ahead.
Make sure you got everything.
I'm thinking I got everything. I can fan now.
Yeah. Child. I thought we was on something else. But it's cool.
Okay. Say if you sweat on your nose, you mean.
Oh, like, well, I mean, child, because I'm bubbling. But anyway, no. What I want you guys to do this week is I want you to go create an account on Credit Karma.
Find out your credit score.
Find out your credit score.
See what's on there.
Now it's gonna offer you credit cards and shit like that, so you don't ignore that. All we want you to do is find out your number and if it's high or low and why. Because there's reasons down, you scroll down and it's gonna let you know why. They're gonna let you know if it's the revolving credit. They're gonna let you know why if it's too many inquiries. They're gonna tell you if you had too many late payments. All that information is gonna be on there. So find out what your credit score is and start there. Start trying to figure out how we can build that credit up. But like she said, if you
know where you stand so you can know where you need to go. All right? And now you can figure out a path to get there. So, what I'm Red.
This is Shay.
Ebonic Economics out, nigga.
Get your credit right.